All right, this is easily my favorite tool on OnX. It can help you predict how deer are using a property, where they're potentially bedded, and also maybe where you can carve out a food plot on a ridge top or maybe some old cattle pasture that might be eligible to go into a food plot. And so you can use the slope angle tool for all of these with great levels of efficiency. Now, the slope angle tool is available on mobile and desktop. And so you can go through and look at all parts of the country using the slope angle tool to figure out exactly how much of degree there is for slope. So flat is going to be nothing, and light green is going to be basically very, very, very gentle rolling terrain. And so across the country, a lot of that is still in row crop production for reference. Yellow is when it starts to get a little bit more serious. That's what I would call a hill. In most scenarios, someone say, oh, there's a hill over there. And then once it gets to that orange and red, becomes very steep, and not to the point of impassable where it's impossible to climb up the hill, but it is very steep. So you can use that to figure out exactly how terrain is laid out on different farms and really predict how deer are going to use it. So right here is an area that's kind of interesting. It has a pretty steep hill here, and this is a creek bottom rolling through here that is pretty narrow, so more of a runoff more than anything. And then it looks like here is just a lot of different terrain features coming somewhat together. But as you can see, very steep, still pretty steep. And then there's an area that is not very steep at all. And I would anticipate this would be a great location to put a camera and see how deer are using this terrain feature across the board. My guess is they're probably doing something similar to coming down in this direction going that way, or coming down from this way and shooting up this way. Now, obviously, when you go there, look with your eyes and see where the deer trail is, but this would just be a really easy area to key in on. And if you can look without just what it would be with a contour map, to me, it's just not as obvious. So I think it's such a powerful tool where you turn that on, and it's basically contour maps for dummy mode. But beyond that, it's so accurate. I mean, you can just see right here, you would not be able to tell what that was on a contour map. That right here is a very steep spot. But if I had to guess, there's probably a bed in association somewhere around here that would be perfect for a south wind. So the buck would be bedded somewhere around here. It's getting all the scent from behind here, and then it's looking over here. And there's even a road. That'd be a perfect example of predicting where deer are bedded using this contour line. So where that red meets yellow in a lot of the country could be a really easy spot to anticipate that is where a buck may be bedded, or at least using that area. And I think if you turn on the slope angle tool and you already have beds marked on OnX, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, there's another layer of using this tool when it comes to maybe managing a farm or putting in food plots or making shrub lines or making edge on your property. And you can make your farm more effective by finding these slight little nuances that would be pretty easily to overlook with just the contour map. But right here is a really interesting example. Let's say this farm didn't have a lot of food and you wanted to add some. Well, you can tell that it's extremely flat all the way back here. So hypothetically, if you wanted to, you can come in here, cut this, and make additional food. Or another really interesting thing is you could put basically a shrub line here and give up some of this production. And this is a really nice pinch right here. And then as you can see, there's a lot of rolling terrain all the way around here. So deer are going to be more than likely bedded all the way around all these different knobs throughout this farm. But you can go in here and make just an incredible pinch point that is probably already naturally to some extent happening, but you can really enhance it by looking at this. And if you have a farm, or you have a farm you lease, or there's an area of a farm that you can improve the habitat, look at the slope angle tool and figure out how you can maybe use it to your advantage to create more defined movement, better food plots, more food plots, reduce food plots where maybe there's a lot of erosion. Telling you, this is a really powerful tool. So with all that being said, if you are running OnX on hybrid mode, I could not suggest you more to try the slope angle tool, figure out what you are missing from just looking at a typical contour map, and I think you'll be surprised.